stop scrolling. What I'm about to tell you will shatter everything you think you know about yourself. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You are not who you think you are. That voice in your head right now, that's not you. Your thoughts, not you. Your memories, your job title, your failures, your achievements, none of it is actually you. Stay with me, because understanding this one truth will change absolutely everything. And I mean everything. Your relationships, your career, your health, your sense of purpose. All of it transforms when you finally understand who you really are. Society has programmed you into a box. From birth, you've been told who to be, what to want, how to think. Your family, schools, universities, corporations. They all needed you, formatted, standardized, controllable. They needed you to fit into their system, to play by their rules, to never question the game itself. Think about it. Your education system, designed to create workers, not thinkers. It teaches you to memorize, to obey, to sit still for hours, to accept what authority figures tell you without question. Does that sound like training for freedom or training for compliance? Your job keeps you too busy to question anything. You wake up, rush to work, spend 8 to 10 hours doing tasks that rarely fulfill you, come home exhausted, watch some TV to numb out, and repeat 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, for 40 years. And they call this living. Your mind? Constantly racing, never quiet enough to hear the truth, bombarded with notifications, advertisements, news cycles designed to keep you anxious and afraid. Your attention has become the most valuable commodity on earth, and everyone wants a piece of it. But while they're stealing your attention, they're also stealing something far more precious, your awareness of who you truly are. You've been living on autopilot, reacting instead of acting, operating from what neuroscience calls the reptilian brain, the part that only knows fight, flight, or freeze. Like a crocodile snapping at anything that moves. This ancient part of your brain was designed to keep you alive in the jungle, but now it's running your entire life. Someone cuts you off in traffic? Reptile brain activated. Your boss sends a critical email? Reptile brain. Someone disagrees with you on social media? Reptile brain. Is that really living? Or just surviving? Most people spend their entire lives in this trance. They chase money, status, relationships, thinking, when I get this, then I'll be happy. But happiness keeps moving. The goalpost keeps shifting. You get the promotion, feel good for a week, then you're stressed again. You buy the car, it's exciting for a month, then it's just a car. You find the relationship, the honeymoon phase ends, and you're wondering why you still don't feel complete. Why? Because they're searching in the wrong place. They're looking outside for what can only be found inside. It's like being thirsty and looking for water in a mirror. The reflection might show you water, but you can't drink it. Here's what nobody tells you. You are not your body. It's just a temporary vehicle. Think about it. The cells in your body completely replace themselves every 7 to 10 years. You literally have a different body than you did a decade ago. But you're still you. So you can't be the body. You are not your mind. It's just a tool. Your mind is incredibly powerful, yes, but it's meant to serve you, not control you. Right now, for most people, it's the other way around. The mind has become the master, and you've become its slave. It tells you to worry, and you worry. It tells you to doubt yourself, and you do. It replays past traumas and projects future anxieties, and you believe every word. You are not your story. It's just an experience. Everything that happened to you, your childhood, your successes, your failures, your relationships, your career, it's all just a story. A story that you've been telling yourself over and over until you believed it was the truth. But stories can be rewritten. Stories can be released. Stories are not reality. They're interpretations of reality. You are the awareness behind all of it. You are pure consciousness. And consciousness doesn't age, doesn't fail, doesn't die. It's eternal. It was here before your body was born, and it will be here after your body dies. Everything else is temporary. Everything else is just passing through. But you, the real you are the eternal witness to it all. Think of your body, mind, and life story like a video game character. The character isn't the player. It's just what the player uses to interact with the game. The character can get hurt, can lose points, can die in the game. But the player is always safe, always watching, always in control. You are the player. You've just forgotten. You've become so immersed in the game that you think you are the character. You've forgotten that you're the one holding the controller. This isn't philosophy. This isn't woo-woo. This is the most practical truth you'll ever encounter. Because once you understand this, once you really get it deep in your bones, everything changes. When you remember who you truly are, everything shifts. That anxiety you've been carrying for years, it loses its grip because you realize anxiety is just a pattern in the mind. It's not you. That depression that feels like it's drowning you, it begins to dissolve because you recognize that you are the space in which depression appears and disappears. You are not the weather. You are the sky. Those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, they crumble because you see them for what they are. Just thoughts. Just old programming. Just stories that aren't even yours. Because you realize you were never the problem. You were just identified with the wrong thing. You were playing the wrong game. You were answering the wrong questions. Even cutting-edge companies know this. Google, Apple, major corporations are bringing meditation and mindfulness to their employees. Why? Not because they suddenly became spiritual organizations. Not because the CEOs had enlightenment experiences. Because they discovered something that changes everything. When people quiet their minds and access deeper awareness, focus increases by 300%. Productivity skyrockets. Creativity explodes. Sick days decrease. Employee satisfaction increases. Collaboration improves. Innovation accelerates. They found that 10 minutes of meditation produces better results than any management technique, any productivity app, any corporate training program. But here's the dark side. Most companies use this as a tool for profit, not freedom. They want you focused enough to work harder, but not aware enough to question the system. They want you calm enough to be productive, but not conscious enough to ask, wait, is this really how I want to spend my one precious life? They're giving you just enough awareness to make you a better worker, but not enough to make you truly free. Real self-knowledge is about liberation. Liberation from reactive patterns that have been running your life since childhood. Liberation from limiting beliefs that were installed in you before you could even think for yourself. Liberation from the need for external validation, constantly checking what others think, constantly seeking approval, constantly measuring your worth by metrics that don't even matter. Liberation from the fear of death that haunts every moment, making you cling to safety and avoid risk. Liberation from the illusion of separation that makes you feel alone, isolated, cut off from the rest of existence. When you truly know yourself, you recognize that everyone is you in a different form. That person who annoys you, they're showing you something about yourself that you haven't accepted yet. That person you admire, they're reflecting back qualities that are already within you. That person you fear, they're mirroring your own shadow. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is you in disguise. That other person? Just another expression of the same consciousness wearing a different mask. Think about it. Every human being wants the same fundamental things. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to feel safe. Everyone wants to matter. Everyone wants to be seen and understood. The details differ, the paths vary. But the core desires are universal. Why? Because we're all expressions of the same source. Separation is the ego's greatest illusion. The ego can only exist by seeing itself as separate. It needs boundaries, divisions, us versus them, me versus you. It needs to compare, to compete, to judge. Without separation, the ego dissolves, and that's exactly what it fears most, its own dissolution. So how do you wake up from the trance? How do you break free from this prison that you didn't even know you were in? Start with these 4 questions, the same 4 questions that philosophers have been asking for thousands of years. Who am I? Where did I come from? What am I doing here? Where am I going? These aren't just intellectual puzzles. These are the most important questions you'll ever ask, because how you answer them determines how you live your entire life. Don't accept easy answers. Don't let your ego answer. Don't let society answer for you. Don't let your parents' beliefs answer. Don't let your culture's conditioning answer. Sit with these questions until the real answers emerge from silence. Until you feel the truth in your bones, not just understand it with your mind. Then practice this. Every morning, before the world demands your attention, before you check your phone, before you jump into the day's chaos, sit in silence for 10 minutes. Not to achieve anything, not to become spiritual, not to get better at meditating, just to remember, to reconnect, to come home to yourself. Watch your thoughts like clouds passing through the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. The clouds come and go. Sometimes dark storm clouds, sometimes light fluffy clouds, sometimes no clouds at all. But the sky is always there, always vast, always unchanged. Your thoughts are like those clouds. They appear, they pass, they disappear. But you, the awareness watching them, you remain. Watch your emotions like waves in the ocean. You are not the waves, you are the ocean. The waves rise and fall. Sometimes they're calm and gentle. Sometimes they're violent and destructive. But the ocean itself, the ocean contains all waves, holds all waves, and remains the ocean regardless of what's happening on the surface. This practice will clear mental fog that's been clouding your judgment for years. It will reduce anxiety and depression that stem from over-identification with thoughts and emotions. It will improve every relationship because you'll stop projecting your unconscious patterns onto others. It will unlock natural creativity that's been buried under layers of conditioning and fear. And it will bring genuine peace. Not the temporary peace that comes from circumstances being just right, but the deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing who you truly are. Here's what happens when you align with your true essence. The universe begins to work with you instead of against you. Synchronicities start happening. The right people show up at the right time. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Problems solve themselves. What used to take tremendous effort starts flowing naturally. That's not magic. It's physics. Everything is energy. Quantum physics has proven this. There is no solid matter, just energy vibrating at different frequencies. And when you operate from ego and fear, you vibrate at a low frequency. You attract struggle, drama, competition. You create resistance everywhere you go. Life feels like pushing a boulder uphill. But when you operate from your true nature, from peace, joy, gratitude, love, you vibrate higher. You become magnetic, not manipulative magnetic, not fake positive thinking magnetic, authentically magnetic. Opportunities flow to you because you're no longer blocking them with fear and resistance. The right people appear because you're resonating at a frequency that attracts them. Resources materialize because you've stopped operating from scarcity and started operating from abundance, not because you're manifesting. I know everyone's talking about manifestation these days, making vision boards and repeating affirmations. And while those tools can be useful, they're missing the deeper point. You're not creating something from nothing. You're removing the blocks that were preventing what's already yours from reaching you. Because you've stopped blocking, you've stopped resisting, you've aligned with the natural flow of existence. Think of it like a river. The river is always flowing toward the ocean. It doesn't have to try. It doesn't have to force. It doesn't have to manifest. It just flows. And when something blocks it, a dam, a boulder, debris, the water backs up, gets stagnant, becomes a problem. But remove the block, the river flows freely again, naturally, effortlessly. You are that river. Life is trying to flow through you. Abundance is trying to flow through you. Creativity is trying to flow through you. Love is trying to flow through you. But you've created blocks of fear, of unworthiness, of limiting beliefs, of old traumas, of protective mechanisms that you no longer need. Think about it. When you're anxious, desperate, grasping, nothing works. You send out 100 resumes, no responses. You try to force a relationship, it falls apart. You chase money desperately, it eludes you. Why? Because desperation is a low vibration. It broadcasts, I don't have, to the universe. And the universe responds by giving you more experiences of not having. But when you're calm, centered, grateful, doors open, you're not even looking for a job, and someone offers you an opportunity. You're content being single, and suddenly you meet someone amazing. You stop obsessing over money, and unexpected income appears. It's the same principle. Abundance flows to abundance. Peace attracts peace. Joy attracts joy. Most people have it backwards. They think, when I get the money, relationship, success, then I'll feel good. So they spend their entire lives chasing external things, thinking that the next achievement, the next acquisition, the next milestone will finally make them happy. Wrong. Feel good first. From that state, everything you need comes to you. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't denying reality. This is understanding how reality actually works. Your external world is a reflection of your internal world. Change the inside, and the outside has no choice but to follow. I'm going to challenge you right now. For the next 7 days, commit to this simple practice. Just 7 days. That's all I'm asking. 7 days to potentially transform your entire life. First, ask yourself daily, who is the awareness watching my thoughts right now? Not who is thinking, but who is watching the thinking. There's a subtle but profound difference. Thinking happens automatically. Watching is conscious. When you ask this question, you shift from being lost in thought to being the observer of thought. And in that shift, everything changes. Second, pause 3 times per day and simply observe. Set 3 alarms on your phone if you have to. When the alarm goes off, stop whatever you're doing for just 60 seconds. What do you see? Really see, not just glance at. What do you hear? Really hear, not just register. What do you feel? In your body, in your energy, in your emotional state. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Just notice. This simple practice will build your awareness muscle like nothing else. Third, before reacting to anything, take 1 conscious breath. Someone says something that triggers you? Breath first. You get bad news? Breath first. Something doesn't go as planned? Breath first. In that pause between stimulus and response, you reclaim your power. You stop being a puppet of circumstances and become the conscious creator of your experience. That's it. No apps, no courses, no gurus, no expensive retreats. Just you returning to yourself. You remembering who you are. You reclaiming your power from everything you gave it away to. Watch what happens. Arguments lose their charge because you stop taking things personally. You realize that when someone is upset, it's about them, not you. Stress decreases because you stop resisting what is. You start working with reality instead of against it. Clarity increases because the mental fog lifts. Decisions that used to paralyze you become obvious. You start seeing people differently, not as threats or obstacles, but as mirrors, everyone showing you something, everyone teaching you something, everyone helping you grow, even when, especially when, it's uncomfortable. I know what some of you are thinking right now. This sounds great, but I have bills to pay. I have real problems. My boss is a nightmare. My relationship is falling apart. I'm drowning in debt. I don't have time for spiritual stuff. Here's the truth bomb. Self-knowledge isn't separate from real life. It is real life. Everything else is distraction. Everything else is rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You think you don't have time? You don't have time. Not to do this. Because without self-knowledge, you're going to keep making the same mistakes, just with different people and different situations. You'll keep attracting the same toxic patterns, just wearing different faces. You'll keep feeling empty no matter what you achieve, because you're trying to fill an internal void with external things, and that has never worked for anyone. Ever. You'll reach the end of your life, lying in that hospital bed, and the question that will haunt you won't be, did I make enough money? It won't be, did I have the right car? It won't even be, did I achieve my goals? The question that will haunt you is, who was I really? Did I ever discover my true self? Did I live authentically, or did I just play the role society assigned me? With self-knowledge, your health improves, because stress is the #1 killer, and stress comes from resistance to what is. Your relationships transform, because you stop projecting your unconscious patterns onto others. You stop expecting them to complete you, to fix you, to make you happy. You show up whole, and you attract whole people. Your business thrives because you act from clarity, not fear. You make decisions from intuition and wisdom, not from panic and desperation. Your life becomes an adventure instead of a burden, because you're finally living your life, not the life someone else programmed you to live. This isn't about becoming spiritual. It's about becoming real. It's about stripping away everything false until only truth remains. And truth is always simple, always peaceful, always free. Want to know why this isn't taught in schools? Why this fundamental knowledge, the most important knowledge you'll ever encounter, is completely absent from our education system? Because aware people are harder to control. Aware people don't blindly consume. They don't buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. They see through advertising manipulation. They question why they want what they want. They don't work jobs they hate for 40 years. They ask, is this really how I want to spend my limited time on Earth? And if the answer is no, they make changes. They don't believe everything they're told. They think critically. They question authority. They verify information. They trust their own inner knowing. They question. They think. They choose. And a population that questions, thinks, and chooses is dangerous to any system that requires compliance. The system needs you distracted, divided, and dependent. Distracted by entertainment, by social media, by endless options that mean nothing. Divided by politics, by race, by class, by any category that keeps you fighting with each other instead of questioning the system itself. Dependent on jobs you hate, on consumption you don't need, on approval from people who don't matter. It needs you identifying with your problems, your political tribe, your consumer habits. Because when you identify with these things, you're easy to predict, easy to manipulate, easy to control. Self-knowledge breaks the spell. You start seeing through the programming. Not with anger or rebellion, just with clarity. You're not against the system. You're just no longer controlled by it. You're in it, but not of it. And from that clarity, you make better choices. You live intentionally instead of reactively. You create consciously instead of unconsciously. You become the author of your life instead of a character in someone else's story. So here's where we stand. You can go back to scrolling, back to the trance, back to the hustle, the comparison, the quiet desperation, back to wondering why you're here and what it all means, back to the feeling that something's missing but not knowing what, Or you can choose today, right now, in this moment, to begin the most important journey of your life, the journey home to yourself, not to become someone else. You've been trying to become someone else your entire life, and how's that working out? Not to achieve enlightenment like some distant goal you have to strain toward. Enlightenment isn't about becoming something more. It's about recognizing what you already are, just to remember what you forgot, to recognize what's always been here, to wake up from the dream, to come home. Your true nature is already whole. You're not broken. You never were. You just believed you were, already peaceful. Beneath all the chaos and noise, there's a peace that has never been disturbed. Already free. The prison was always unlocked. You just didn't know you could walk out. Already abundant. Not in the future. Not when circumstances align. Now. Right now. You don't need to create it. You need to stop covering it up with thoughts, fears, and false identities. Stop covering it up with distractions and addictions. Stop covering it up with the endless pursuit of more. Stop covering it up with the story of who you think you should be. If this resonated, don't just watch and move on. Don't let this be another interesting video that you forget in an hour. Do this right now. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Let them be slow. Let them be full. Let them bring you into this moment. Ask yourself, who am I beyond my thoughts? Not as an intellectual question. Ask it with your whole being. Feel into it. Wait for the answer. Not from your mind, from somewhere deeper. Sit with that question for 60 seconds. Just 1 minute. Surely you can give yourself 1 minute. Whatever happens, peace, confusion, resistance, fear, joy, nothing at all. You've just taken the first step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you just took it. Drop a comment if you tried it. Tell me what happened. I read every single comment, because this community is everything. And if you want more truth like this, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me. For you. Because this channel is about elevation, not entertainment. This is about transformation, not information. This is about waking up, not staying comfortable. Let's rise together.